The Cursed Part 2: Descent into Damnation. The full moon cast a sinister glow on the towering high-rise in Dallas, Texas. The building, a monolith of glass and steel, reached upwards to touch the sky. Deep within its top floor, a darkness stirred. A malevolent presence known as the Cursed took form, its body writhing with massive muscles and tendrils of darkness, its eyes glowing orbs of crimson flickering with insatiable hunger. The Curse made its way to the elevator, its clawed feet scraping against the polished marble floor. It summoned the elevator. An ancient grin of malice distorted its grotesque features. The doors opened with a soft hiss, and the demon stepped inside. Its shadowy form filled the confined space. It reached for the control panel, the buttons smeared with blood as it pressed each one. The elevator jolted to life, beginning its descent into the inferno that awaited below. The first stop, the 35th floor. As the elevator's door slid open, a man named Richard Harding stepped inside, oblivious to the presence of the Curse. Richard was a ruthless businessman who had built his wealth on the suffering of others. He had swindled countless families out of their homes and left them destitute. But his transgressions would not go unpunished. The creature roared, "You have been judged, and you are cursed." The Curse lunged at Richard, its claws tearing into his chest, ripping through flesh and bone. Blood sprayed against the elevator walls, painting them in gore as Richard's scream echoed in agony. "Don't take me!" he screamed. But the demon devoured him, swallowing chunks of his flesh with a primal hunger. The man's soul screamed even louder as the Curse dragged it down into the fiery pits of hell. The elevator continued its descent. The second stop, the 27th floor. Marla Anderson, a notorious blackmailer, entered the elevator, her eyes glued to her phone. Marla had made a living by threatening to expose the deepest secrets of her victims, reveling in their desperation and fear. She stepped inside, her heels clicking on the blood-splattered floor, too engrossed in her device to notice the carnage. The Curse crept up behind her, his tendrils of darkness wrapping around her throat. The creature groaned, "You have been judged, and you are cursed." Marla's eyes bulged in terror as the demon squeezed the life from her. Blood vessels ruptured, and her face turned a sickly shade of purple. Her lifeless body crumpled to the floor, and the demon feasted upon her flesh, its ravenous jaws gnashing and tearing. Her soul, twisted by her wicked deeds, was consumed by the flames of damnation. The elevator moved on. The third stop, the 18th floor. Dr. Victor Shaw stepped into the elevator, his lab coat stained with unknown substances. Dr. Shaw was no ordinary scientist. He had subjected innocent people to cruel and inhumane experiments in pursuit of his twisted ambitions. The Curse wasted no time. "You have been judged, and you are cursed," the creature growled, leaping at the doctor with monstrous fury. It seized his head in its massive claws, the pressure causing his skull to crack like an eggshell. Blood and brain matter oozed through the demon's fingers as it feasted on the doctor's life essence, slurping it up like a gruesome delicacy. The man's soul, corrupted by his terrible deed, burned in the unrelenting fires of hell. The elevator continued its journey downwards. The fourth stop, the 10th floor. Stephanie Cross entered the elevator, a smug smile plastered on her face. Stephanie was a cunning con artist who had manipulated her way into the hearts and bank accounts of countless people. Her greed had left many lives in shambles, but she cared for nothing but her own gain. The curse sensed her wickedness and sprang upon her with ruthless ferocity. "You have been judged, and you are cursed." Its talons sliced through her limbs, severing them one by one. Stephanie screamed, "God help me!" The curse responded, "There is no God where you are going." Torrents of blood gushed from her wounds, flooding the elevator floor. The demon reveled in her pain, ravenously devouring each severed limb as she watched in horror. Her soul, tainted by her avarice and deceit, was dragged into the eternal torment of hell. The elevator resumed its descent to the fifth and final stop, the third floor. Bradley Cole entered the elevator, his muscles bulging beneath his expensive suit. Bradley was a corrupt politician who had made a career of exploiting his constituents for personal gain. He had lied, cheated, and stolen his way to power, leaving a trail of suffering in his wake. The curse approached him slowly, savoring the anticipation of his gruesome demise. Bradley's eyes widened as the demon towered over him. His jaws dropped with blood. "You have been judged, and you are cursed." The curse plunged its claws deep into Bradley's gut, twisting and tearing through his insides. The demon savored the man's screams, drawing out his suffering for as long as it could. The curse finally relented, ripping the politician's entrails from his body and feasting upon them. Bradley's soul, stained with the countless misdeeds, was cast into the eternal abyss of hell, condemned to suffer for all eternity. As the elevator reached the ground floor, the doors opened to reveal the gruesome scene within. The cursed, satisfied with its unholy feast, dissipated into the shadows, leaving behind a trail of blood and gore. The souls of the wicked had been claimed, their descent into damnation complete. And so, the cursed vanished into the night, awaiting the next opportunity to cleanse the world of the truly evil, one soul at a time. The following morning, the sun rose over Dallas, Texas, casting its warm light upon the city. People walked past the high-rise, unaware of the gruesome events that had transpired within. The elevator had been cleaned, the carnage erased, as though the demon's feast had never occurred. The cursed, now hidden in the shadows, watched the city below with a sinister grin. As the days turned into weeks, whispers of the curse spread throughout the city. The story of its brutal purge of the wicked spread like wildfire, instilling fear in the hearts of those who harbored evil intentions. No one knew when or where the demon would strike again, but they knew it was watching, waiting for the next victim to cross its path. In the darkness of night, the curse listened to the heartbeat of the city, sensing the pulse of the wicked that resided within. It would not rest until all those who had caused suffering had paid the ultimate price. The demon knew that its work was far from over, and so it waited, ever patient, for the perfect moment to claim its next soul. From the shadows, the curse could feel the growing fear, and it relished in the terror that gripped the hearts of those who deserved punishment. It continued to stalk the city, hunting for those who had been corrupted by their own greed and malice, ensuring that their wickedness would not go unpunished. And as the demon continued to claim the souls of the vile, the line between good and evil blurred, leaving the residents of Dallas to question the true nature of justice. One thing was certain: The curse would not rest until its grim mission was complete. And as the sun set each night, casting the city in darkness, the demon would emerge, ready to feast upon the souls of the damned, descending into the damnation with each new victim, leaving nothing but fear and destruction in its wake. You have been judged, and you are damned.
Welcome back. Did you like that? You have been judged, and you are cursed. Is that you? Are you the next victim? In part 3, called The Curse of Carnage, the creature known only as the Curse continues his ravenous rampage through Dallas, Texas, sucking the life from the wicked souls it encounters. But so many wicked souls and so little time. Be sure to like and subscribe so stories can continue coming. I hope these stories keep you up at night and give you nightmares, for the curse could be coming for you.